Welcome to my channel. Thanks for watching. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to crochet this beautiful baby girl set. It includes the little dress, the diaper cover, and the matching booties. It's for baby girls between 6 and 9 months old, but you can easily make it smaller or bigger from 0 to 3 months and up to 24 months. In the information box below, I'll go ahead and leave you lots of information, including how to make it smaller or bigger. I will also leave how much yarn you're going to need to make the little dress, the diaper cover, and the baby booties in the 6 to 9 month size. Now, as always, if you prefer a written pattern, check out my Etsy shop. I'll leave the link to my Etsy shop up here on the right hand side and in the information box below. Thank you so much for your support. Okay, let's get started, but don't forget to subscribe, activate the notifications bell, and remember, all of my tutorials are always in English and in Spanish. Thanks so much for watching. Okay, to start here, we're going to begin with the little dress, and then we're going to do the diaper cover, and finally the baby booties. So to begin here and make the little dress, I'll be using this 3mm crochet hook, and today I'm using this DK weight yarn. You can also use any number 3 yarn or 8 ply. Okay, so here to begin, I have 73 chains. On the 4th chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to make a double crochet. The 3 chains here at the beginning in this row count as the first double crochet. So I have 2. I'm going to make a total of 9. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here's the front panel. So now I'm going to do the sleeve. So chain 2 and into the next chain make a double crochet. Now for the sleeves, I'm going to make 17 double crochets. So that's 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Let me count them again just to make sure. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. Perfect. This is the sleeve. So now chain 2, and now we're going to make the back side. So here for the back, I'm going to do 19. So into the next chain, make a double crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Now chain 2, and into the next chain make a double crochet. This is going to be the other sleeve, so again we're going to make 17 double crochets. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Chain 2, and here we should finish with 9 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. So for this front panel again, make 9 double crochets. Continue, and I will meet you at the end of this row. Okay, I finished this first row. I finished these last 9 double crochets. So we have 9, 17, 19, 17, and 9. That's a total of 71 double crochets for the first row. Now for the second row, chain 1 and turn. This chain here never counts as a stitch. Now beginning on top of the first double crochet right here, make a double crochet. Into the second double crochet, make a double crochet. Now this is where the pattern is going to start. Chain 1, skip 1 double crochet, and into the next one, in this case it's the 4th, make a double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1 double crochet, and into the next, double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1 double crochet, and into the next, a double crochet. Chain 1, skip this last double crochet for the front panel, and inside the chain 2 space make 2 double crochets, 2 chains, 2 double crochets. Chain 1. Now skip the first double crochet, and into the second make a double crochet, chain 1. Skip 1 double crochet, and into the next, a double crochet. This is all I'm going to do until I come to the next chain 2 space, and the rest you're going to work on your own. It's easy. All you do is just skip 1 and then chain 1, like this. Skip 1 double crochet, chain 1. Skip 1 double crochet, chain 1. Here at the end, skip the last double crochet for the sleeve, and inside the chain 2 space make 2 double crochets, 2 chains, 2 double crochets. And this is all we're going to do for the rest of these stitches here. You're going to, let me start you here. So chain 1 now, skip the first double crochet for the front, and into the next, a double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1 double crochet, and into the next, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, and into the next, double crochet, chain 1. And that's all you're going to do from here on. This other chain 2 space is going to look exactly like this here. You're always going to have one last double crochet, and inside you're going to work this fan, and then you're always going to begin by skipping the first double crochet and into the second, do your double crochet. Don't forget to chain one, because in the next row we're going to come and do just double crochets into each one of these chain one spaces and on top of the double crochets. I'm here at the end of this second row. I still have 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. The last one is the 3 chains. Here to finish, don't forget to chain 1, skip this next double crochet, and into the last 2 make a double crochet into each one. Here at the end we're going to finish with 2 double crochets, and we're always going to start with 2 double crochets. And that's what it looks like. Now if you count each one of the double crochets, including these here inside the chain 2 space, you should have a total of 51 double crochets separated by 1 chain. Now for the third row, we're going to chain 1 and turn. Now from here on, these are the 2 rows that we're going to repeat, the second and the third. So for the third here, beginning on top of this last double crochet that I did, make a double crochet, double crochet into the next double crochet here right on top, and into each one of the chain 1 spaces you're going to make a double crochet, and on top of each one of the double crochets. So in this row, this is all we're doing. We're just making 1 double crochet into each one of the chain 1 spaces and 1 double crochet into the on top of the double crochets like this. And these are the 2 rows that we're going to repeat from here on. Here we have the next corner, we have the 2 double crochets. Same thing, make a double crochet into each one, and then inside the chain 2 space make again your fan. For every corner we're going to do the same thing regardless of which row you're working. So 2 double crochets, 2 chains, 2 double crochets, and then again start this other side, making a double crochet on each one of the double crochets and into each one of the chain 1 spaces. And that's all we're going to do for this third row. Continue like this, and I will meet you at the end of this third row. I'm here at the end of this third row. I have 103 double crochets. Now for the fourth row, we're going to repeat the same thing we did on the second row. So here, chain 1, turn, and remember that when we do this row here, we always begin by making 2 double crochets at the beginning like this. So on top of this last double crochet, make a double crochet, on top of the next a double crochet. Here are the 2 double crochets. Now chain 1, skip 1 double crochet, and into the next a double crochet, chain 1, skip the next, and into the next a double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, and into the next a double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, and into the next double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, and into the next double crochet, chain 1, skip the last double crochet for this front panel, and inside the chain 2 space make 2 double crochets, 2 chains, 2 double crochets. And then to begin the next side, skip the first double crochet, but first don't forget to chain 1. So skip the first double crochet and into the next a double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, and into the next double crochet, chain 1, and so on. Each one of your corners is going to look exactly like this one here. Okay, so continue for this fourth row, and I'll meet you again here at the end to show you once again how to finish and how to start your next row. I'm here at the end of the fourth row. Here at the end, I have 3 double crochets left. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1, skip 1, and into the last 2, make 1 double crochet here at the end. Remember that for this row, we always end with 2 double crochets, and we always begin with 2 double crochets. At the end of this fourth row, now you should have 67 double crochets separated by 1 chain, except here. So now from here on, you're going to repeat these 2 rows. So for the 5th row, this is where we need to do double crochets. So chain 1 and turn. Beginning on top of the first double crochet, make a double crochet on top of the next, double crochet into the chain 1 space, and on top of the double crochet. This row is easy. All you do is just double crochets. So I'm going to continue until I come to the corner here just to show you. I think by now you get how this stitch is worked. Just repeat the 2 rows from here on. Okay, here's the chain 2, so just make 2 double crochets, 2 chains, 2 double crochets, and then continue for the next side, doing the exact same thing. Okay, this is all we're going to do. We're going to repeat these 2 rows. Now at the end of this 5th row, you should have 135 double crochets. Now I'm not sure how many rows I'm going to do here for the rest of the yoke, but continue watching. I will let you know exactly how many rows I'm going to do. So continue like this, just repeat these 2 rows, and I will meet you at the end of that row. Now at the end of this 5th row, you should have a total of 135 double crochets. Okay, I finished row 5, 6, and 7. At the end of the 5th row, you should have had 135 double crochets. At the end of the 6th row, there should have been 83 double crochets separated by 1 chain. And then at the end of this 7th row, I have 167 double crochets. Now, it's measuring this part here right across. It's measuring about 10 centimeters, which is about 4 inches. And here, the chest area, this part here, it's measuring about 20 centimeters, which is about 8 inches, just the top. So I'm going to leave my yoke like this. It's done for the size that I'm making this for. If you want to make it bigger, just continue and make more rows. So here, what I'm going to do first here before I divide the sleeves is I'm going to go along the very edge here and make single crochets. So chain 1, and into this last double crochet that I did, make 2 double crochets. 2 double crochets here at the end where I have this chain, and into each one of the stitches along the edge, 2 double crochets. 2 single crochets. 1 and 2. And then 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2. Here's the last row, 2 single crochets. Now into this first chain right here, I'm going to make a single crochet as well. So you should have 15 single crochets. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 single crochets. Now chain 1, turn, and into this first single crochet, make a single crochet. Here I'm going to make my buttonholes. So chain 1, skip 1 single crochet, and into the next make a single crochet, and then single crochet into each one of the next 10 single crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, chain 1, skip 1 single crochet, and into the last 2 make a single crochet. And here's the second row with our buttonholes. Now chain 1, turn, and work your way up, just making single crochets. 1, 2, and into the chain 1 space make your third, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, into the chain 1 space, 14, and then 15 at the top. Now cut your yarn, pass your yarn through this last loop, and this part here is done. Now you're going to do the exact same thing here on this other side. We're going to do 3 rows and then 15 single crochets. So let me start you here. Insert your hook into the chain here at the very top, grab a loop, chain 1, and then a single crochet here into the same stitch. Now along the very edge you're going to do the same thing. You're going to do 2 single crochets. Here you're going to have to make sure you have 15 single crochets, just like we did the other side. Okay, so continue, finish this side here. You're going to finish, then chain 1, turn, come back up, chain 1, turn, and then I'll meet you at the end of that 3rd row. Okay, I finished making this side. I did 3 rows and I'm right here at the bottom. So here, what we're going to do is, this is the other side. This is where we have our buttonholes. So here we're going to align them like this. This is going to go on top. So now insert your hook into this 1st row right here and grab this loop here. Bring it through the front, chain 2. These 2 chains do not count as a stitch. Now we're going to go back into this same stitch here and into the last single crochet here right there. You see the little space right there. Grab a loop and make a double crochet. Now chain 1, go to the very edge right here on top of this last single crochet like this, and we're going to make a double crochet. So go through this side and then go right here into this stitch right before the first one right there. You see that stitch, and make a double crochet. Now we're going to chain 1. We're going to skip this double crochet and we're going to go into this double crochet, the 2nd one, right on top right here. Make a double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 and into the next, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 and into the next, double crochet, chain 1, and I'm going to do this until I come to the 1st chain 2 space. We're going to divide the sleeves in this row. And I'm here at the end, skip the last one, and inside the chain 2 space make 2 double crochets. And here's this back side. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 double crochets here, not including the 2 chains. Now we're going to skip these stitches here for the sleeve and we're going to go into the next chain 2 space, and here we're going to make 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, chain 1, skip this first double crochet and into the next right here, make a double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 and into the next, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 and into the next, double crochet, chain 1, and so on. Continue and finish this side here, and I'll meet you right here to show you how we're going to divide the other sleeve. Okay, I finished making these double crochets. Here I have, let's see, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25 double crochets here. Now we're going to skip these stitches here for the sleeve and we're going to go into this last chain 2 space. So here you're going to make 2 double crochets. And now chain 1, skip this first double crochet and into the next, make a double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 and into the next, double crochet, chain 1, and this is all I'm going to do. Continue and finish this first row. I'm here at the end of this first row. I have my last double crochet, chain 1, and here I'm going to join to the top of the first double crochet with a slip stitch. And this is how I finished this first row, where we divided the sleeve with a total of 51 double crochets. I have 25 double crochets here for the front and 26 for the back. Now in the second row, we're going to make increases right here under each sleeve. So chain 2, and on top of this first double crochet, make your first double crochet, then into the chain 1 space, a double crochet, on top of the double crochet, a double crochet, and so on. I'm going to continue like this until I come to under the sleeve. Okay, I'm here. I have the 2 double crochets that I did into this chain 2 space, and then I have the 2 here on this other side. Into the first double crochet right here, make a double crochet. Into the second one and the first one on this side, I'm going to make 2 double crochets on each. 1 and 2, and then into this one here, 2. 1 and 2. So this is how we're going to do the increase. See, 2 and 2. Now you're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. I'm not going to show you because I think you know what to do. It's exactly how I did it here. And right here, this is where you're going to do your increases. 2 and 2, and then continue until you finish this second row. I will meet you at the end of the second row. I'm here at the end of this second row. I have a total of 100 double crochets, not including the 2 chains. To finish, go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finished the second row with a total of 100 double crochets. Now in the third row, what we're going to do is we're going to chain 2, and here what I'm going to do is front post and back post double crochets. If you prefer, I know some people have a hard time working front post and back post double crochets, you can just do double crochets on top, or even you can do this row here, the row where we do double crochet chain 1. That would be up to you. So to do it how I'm going to do it, I'm going to work this first double crochet into a front post double crochet, then the next one back post double crochet, front post double crochet, back post double crochet. This is all I'm going to do for this third row. I'm just going to alternate between front post and back post double crochets. Continue, and I will meet you at the end of this row. I'm here at the end of this third row. This is where we did front post and back post double crochets. To finish, go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. Now from here on, we're going to switch to a slightly bigger hook. I'm going to use this 3.5 millimeter hook. So here, chain 5, actually 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 4, and into this same stitch here, go back in and make a double crochet chain 1, double crochet chain 1, double crochet chain 1, double crochet. In this row, we're going to make these fans of 5 double crochets separated by 1 chain. Here the 4 chains counts as your first double crochet, actually the first 3 and then the chain 1 space. Again, we're going to skip 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th stitch make double crochet chain 1, double crochet chain 1, double crochet chain 1, double crochet chain 1, and then double crochet. And that's 5 double crochets separated by 1 chain. Again, skip 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th, same thing, double crochet chain 1, double crochet chain 1, double crochet chain 1, double crochet chain 1, double crochet. And here's my third fan. 5 double crochets separated by 1 chain. Don't forget to chain 1 in between the double crochets. Now continue like this to the end of this row. I'm here at the end of this first row. This is where we did these fans. It's 5 double crochets separated by 1 chain. Now up to here I have 25 fans, and here at the end I only have 3 double crochets. Now to finish this row, we're going to go here into this chain 4 space right there and make a single crochet. That's how we're going to finish this row. Now for the next row, chain 3, and into each one of the chain 1 spaces we're going to do a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. Now jump to the next fan and do a single crochet into the first chain 1 space, then chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. And this is all we're going to do here. So continue, and I will meet you at the end of this second row. I'm here at the end of this second row. This is where we did single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3. I did my last single crochet. Now to finish, we're going to go here to the side of this first single crochet and join with a slip stitch. Now what we need to do next is the row of fans. Now each one of the fans are going to go into the middle chain 3 space. We have 3 on each fan, 1, 2, 3. So into the middle one you're going to do your fan. So let me show you here. Here at the beginning we have to work some slip stitches, so I'm going to work the first one here. We have the 3 chains, so right in the middle, insert your hook there and make a slip stitch. A slip stitch into the single crochet and a slip stitch inside this chain 3 space right there. Now chain 4, make a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Here's the first fan. Now jump to the next one and find your chain 3 space right here, right in the middle, 1, 2, 3. Into the second chain 3 space, make your next fan. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. This is all we're going to do, so continue. I'll meet you at the end of this row. I'm here at the end of this third row. In this row we did these fans, and I have 25 fans. Now to finish, we're going to go here to the side where we have the 4 chains and join with a single crochet. Now chain 3 and into the next chain 1 space, make a single crochet. Chain 3, single crochet into the next chain 1 space, 3 chains, single crochet. In this row we're going to repeat the second row to our pattern. Now jump to the next fan and into the first chain 1 space, make a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. And this is all I'm going to do for this fourth row. Continue, and I'll meet you here at the end to show you how to finish and how to start each row from here on. I'm here at the end of this fourth row. This is the second row to our pattern. Remember, the pattern consists of 2 rows, the row of fans and this row that we are here at the end. So to finish this row, we're going to go here to the side where I have we're going to go here where I have the first single crochet, and we're going to join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finish this row. Now for the next row, I need to do the row of fans. So the fans are going to go into the second chain 3 space of every fan, which is the center here. So to do this, you're going to have to make 3 slip stitches. The first one, you're going to insert your hook here into this second chain and make a slip stitch. The second one, you're going to go into the single crochet and make a slip stitch, and the third inside this center chain 3 space. Now once here, you're going to chain 4 a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And here's the first fan. Now to make the next one, you're going to jump to the next fan, and right here in the center you're going to do the same thing. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And that's how you're going to continue for the rest of this row. Now once you finish, you're going to join here with a single crochet and then do this row that we just finished. I'm not exactly sure how many rows I'm going to do here for the little dress. It all depends how long I want to leave this, and you can also just decide how long you want your little dress to be. Okay, so continue like this, and like I said, I'm not sure how many rows I'm going to do, but continue watching. I will let you know exactly how many rows I'm going to do. So I'll meet you at the end of that row. Okay, I finished this part here. I did a total of 8 rows here, and it's measuring from here up to the last row. It's measuring about 12 inches, which is about 30.5 centimeters. If you want to make the skirt longer, you can. Here, I'm just going to work one more row of fans. So here, I just finished this last row and then I joined. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn here, and I'm going to make a slip stitch into this last single crochet, slip stitch into the chains here, slip stitch into this single crochet, and a slip stitch inside this chain 3. Now here you're going to chain 3 and you're going to make a double crochet, and then in total we're going to make 5 double crochets. Let's see, we have the 3 chains plus 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to do one more, so that's 6 double crochets. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, perfect. Jump to the next fan, and right in the center we have these 3 chains, so there you're going to do 6 double crochets. This is all I'm going to do for this row, and I'm working this row from the inside out, so basically on the wrong side, and there's a reason for it. I tried it the other way and this part here didn't work, so I'm going to do it like this, and it's going to look so much nicer this last row that I'm going to do. Okay, so continue, make 6 double crochets. I need to make one more here on top of each one of the fans, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. Okay, I finished this last row here. All I did was just join here to the side of the chains, join with a slip stitch, cut my yarn, and pass my yarn through this last loop. Now this part here is done. Now we're going to go on the right side here, and with this white yarn, bring this loop through the front here, chain 1. Now we're going to go in between these 2 double crochets of the first fan and work a slip stitch, chain 4, slip stitch in between the next 2 double crochets, chain 4, slip stitch in between the next 2 double crochets, chain 4, slip stitch in between the next 2 double crochets, chain 4, a slip stitch in between the last 2 double crochets. Now jump to the next fan, and in between these first 2 double crochets, make a slip stitch, chain 4, slip stitch in between the next 2, chain 4, slip stitch in between the next 2, chain 4, slip stitch in between the next 4, chain 4, slip stitch, and then jump to the next fan, and in between the next 2, a slip stitch. And this is how you're going to continue, and that's what it looks like. Okay, so continue, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. Okay, I went ahead and finished this last row. Here at the end, all I did was just join with a slip stitch, cut my yarn, and then pass my yarn through this last loop, and this last row here is done. Look how beautiful that looks. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the sleeve, so we're going to do it exactly in the same way. This one here, I already did it. I did this one here from the back towards the front, so you're going to do the same thing. This one we're going to do from the front towards the back. That's the only difference. So here to begin, you're going to go into the double crochet after the chain 2 space right here in this corner with this 3.5mm hook. So just bring a loop through the front, chain 1, and into this same stitch here make a single crochet. Now, if you notice that this here is different, is because I had already recorded this part, but my video was blurry, so I decided to do another yoke just like you have right now so that I can show you exactly. So we're right here in this corner. We did a single crochet into this double crochet. Now into the next double crochet, make a single crochet. Into the next double crochet, make a half double crochet, and now into the next 3 double crochets you're going to do a double crochet, but you're only going to go through the back loop. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Remember, it's only through the back loop. Now, to create the little ruffles, what we're going to do next is we need to make 3 double crochets again, but we need to go into the front loops. So what I'm going to do is into this same double crochet where I did the last double crochet, through the front loop, you're going to make the first double crochet out of the 3 that you're going to do next. So front loop, make a double crochet, and into the next 2, same thing. Through the front loop, make a double crochet into each one. And here are the 3 front loop double crochets, and here are the 3 back loop double crochets. So now I need to repeat the 3 back loop double crochets. So I'm going to go into this last double crochet, and through the back loop like this, you're going to make your first double crochet, and then into the next 2 through the back loop only, make your next 2. Now I have to repeat again the 3 front loops double crochet. So into this last double crochet through the front loop of the same stitch here, make your first double crochet, and into the next 2 through the front loop, make your next 2 double crochets. And this is all you need to do. Again, let me show you. We have the 3 front loop double crochet, so now we're going to go into the back of this last double crochet, into the back loop, and make your next 3 double crochets through the back loop. And that's what creates the little ruffle on the sleeves. I have my 3 back loop double crochets. Now into this last double crochet through the front loop, I need to make my next 3 double crochets here. So this is going to be the first one. That's 1 into the next through the front loop, pardon. Make your double crochets, and that's all you're going to do for the rest of the sleeve. And as you can see, that's what's creating the little ruffle here. Continue, and I will meet you right about here, 3 stitches before we finish, to show you how we're going to finish this sleeve. I'm here at the end. I still have these last 3 stitches, so now what we're going to do here is into this next one we're going to make a half double crochet, and then into the next 2 a single crochet. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work single crochets here for this part. So to do this, I'm going to insert my hook here inside this stitch here, make a single crochet, then a single crochet here, and one more right here, right in the middle. There's no right or wrong way of doing this. This is just so that it looks nice under the sleeve here. And then into this double crochet, and then inside this space here make a single crochet and join with a slip stitch. Yep, I think that looks better. Now cut your yarn and just pass your yarn through this last loop, And this part here is done. Now you can leave it like this or do what I did here. This part here is exactly how we did here, so let me show you this part. I'm going to make a loop here and we're going to go again here. I'm going to start under the sleeve, so right here into the very center. Grab a loop and into the next stitch here make a slip stitch, or actually, yeah, slip stitch. So here's where I joined with a slip stitch. This is the first single crochet, so now we're going to make 4 chains and we're going to skip one, and into the next we're going to make a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 1 stitch, and into the next a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 1, and into the next a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 1, and into the next a slip stitch. Now this is how you're going to continue, and this is what it's going to look like. That's how I did mine. Okay, so continue, and I'll meet you once this part here is done to show you how we're going to finish this last row. Okay, I finished here at this other end. Here all I did was just make a slip stitch, cut my yarn, and then pass my yarn through that last loop, and the sleeve is done, and that's what it looks like. Now you're going to do the exact same thing we did here. You're going to do it here on this side. Just remember to start here on this side, on the back side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go here to the back, and with this 3mm crochet hook and this number 3 yarn here in this color white, we're going to go here into this very last stitch right there, grab a loop, chain 1, and into the next make a single crochet. Single crochet into the next, and in between here make a single crochet. Now we're going to make single crochets in between the double crochets until I come to the first corner. I'm going to show you what we need to do there. Okay, here's my last space. Grab a loop, don't close, insert your hook into this corner, 3 loops on the hook, close, and then in between the next 2 make your single crochet. I did a decrease there, so we're going to do the same thing into this next corner. Now if you feel like the neckline is too big, then you can make reductions here in the same way that I just did this here. Okay, here's my last space. Grab a loop, insert your hook in the corner, grab a loop, and into the next your space I have 4 loops, close, and then continue along until you come to the next. Here I did 3 stitches instead of 2, so I'm going to do the same thing here at this other side, and then in the back only 2. There, here's the last stitch. Grab a loop, insert your hook into this corner, grab a loop, and into the next, between the next 2, grab a loop. 4 loops, close, and then continue along and work single crochets until you come to the next corner. In the next corner you're only going to do 2. Continue, and I will meet you here at this other end. Okay, I'm here at the end. I finished making these single crochets, so now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to go back around making single crochets, but we're only going to go through the back loop here like this. and we're going to make single crochets into the back loop only, like this. Okay, so continue all around, just making one single crochet through the back loop of the previous single crochet. I'll meet you here at this other end. Okay, I'm here at this other end. I finished making these single crochets. I have a total of 69 single crochets. Now, what I have done here, I have a stitch marker. This is the center. So if you divide 69 by 2, you get 34 and a half. So I'm marking the 35th stitch here. So we have 34 and then 34 and then this one stitch right in the center. Now, here to do this next row, what we're going to do is we're going to chain 3, we're going to turn. Now all of these triple crochets that we're going to work them into the front loop of your single crochet. Your single crochet has 2 loops, the front loop and the back loop. We're only going to go through the front loop. So yarn over twice into the next single crochet, insert your hook through the front loop, take 2 loops off, take 2 loops off, take 2 loops off. Again, yarn over twice into the next through the front loop only, take 2 loops off, take 2 loops off, take 2 loops off. Again, yarn over twice and into the next single crochet, do the same thing. This is how we're going to continue up to right about here. We're going to have 34 triple crochets. So I will meet you right about here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I have a total of 31 triple crochets here, plus the 3 chains here at the beginning. Now, I told you I was going to have 34, but no, I decided to only do 31, and then into these next 3 stitches, what I'm going to do is I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook into this next stitch here, and I'm going to make a double crochet. Yarn over again and into the next, make a half double crochet. Now into the center stitch right here, make a slip stitch. And this is how we finish this side. See, right there. Now we're going to continue for the other side. We're going to remove this stitch marker here. I'm going to yarn over and into this next stitch here, I'm going to make a half double crochet. Make sure that you only go through the front loop. Again, yarn over and into the next, make a double crochet. Now yarn over twice and into each one of the single crochets, you're going to do your triple crochet here, like this. Yarn over twice and again, same thing. Continue and finish this side here, and I will meet you here at this other end. I'm here at this other end of the neckline. Here at the end I did a double crochet. Now for the next row we're going to chain 1 and turn. Now on top of this first double crochet, make a slip stitch, and now chain 4. Skip 1 stitch and into the next. On top of the next triple crochet, make a slip stitch, 4 chains, skip 1 and into the next, a slip stitch, chain 4, skip 1 and into the next, a slip stitch. This is how we're going to continue all around the neckline, so I'll meet you here at this other end. Okay, I'm right here, right in the center, and I want to show you how I'm going to work this part here. I did my last slip stitch, and into these next 3 stitches, I'm going to make a slip stitch, like this. Just thought I'd show you how I'm going to do this part. There. Now, chain 4, skip 1 and into the next, a slip stitch. And then from here on, you're just going to continue with the same thing. Chain 4 and then skip 1 and into the next, a slip stitch. Continue like this, and I will meet you here at this other end. Okay, I finished this row here at the end. All I did was just join to the last stitch with a slip stitch, cut my yarn, and then pass my yarn through that last loop, and this part here is done. Now what I'm doing here now is I started right here. I didn't show you this part because I didn't think it was going to work, but it does. I noticed that the collar was starting to stand up a little, so what I did was make slip stitches here. So I started right here. I just went in, grabbed the loop, brought the loop through the front, chained one, and then started making slip stitches here along the very edge. So I'm going to show you right here. I'm halfway done, so I'm going to show you here how I'm doing this if you want to do it also. I'm just going through all of these 3 loops. See, you can see them right there, each one. See, I'm going through these 3 loops right along the very edge, and I'm making slip stitches. So into this next stitch, make a slip stitch. Now to do this part, I'm using this 3.5mm crochet hook. Here's the center, slip stitch, and then again slip stitch and slip stitch. This is how I'm going to work this part here. So if you want to do the same thing, this is how it's done. Okay, continue, and I will meet you here at this other end. Okay, I went ahead and finished the collar here. All I did was just join here to the side with a slip stitch, cut my yarn, and then pass my yarn through that last loop, and this here is all done. I also went ahead and added the little button. This button here is the 9mm button, and that's what it looks like. Now what I plan to do here is I'm going to weave a ribbon like I did here. This is the ribbon that I'm using. It's, let's see, it's 7/8 of an inch or 22mm. It's slightly thick, so you're going to have to weave it through this row of double crochets that we did. Actually, this is the front post and back post double crochet row that we did. It's the first row. That's where I weaved in my ribbon, and then here in the back I did a little bow. Now you can also just join both ends here and just leave the little bow out. You don't have to do it, but I think I'm going to leave it there. And then right in the center, right here, right in between, I'm going to add these little flowers like this. And then I'm going to attach these little rosebuds right in the center. And I'm also going to sew one of these right here, right in the middle of the collar, and that should look something like this. Now these little flowers came from Hobby Lobby. These flowers came from the wedding aisle. These are, let's see, little flowers. All I did was just pull them off and then took the center off, and then I added the little flowers right here in the center. I just sew them in, but you can also use hot glue to put them on there. And that's what I plan to do. Now the little rosebuds are these. Now you can get these from Michael's, Hobby Lobby, or Walmart. They're very inexpensive and I love using them. Now I'm also thinking of adding some lace down here at the bottom like this. I'm not sure if I will, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. But I'm using, I plan to use this very inexpensive lace. It's $1.99 for 3 yards, which is plenty for this little dress. And all I'm going to do is just sew it here into this row of fans. But I'll show you if I decide to do that. So it should look something like this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do all of this, and then I'm going to come back and show you the finished baby dress. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add some of this lace, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to attach it here. I'm working from the inside, so I have some needles, some thread. This is pink thread here and a very tiny needle. So I started right here. This is where we finished. This is the back. So I started right there, and right along the very edge here we have the row of fans. So I'm just going in like this. I think this is called a blanket stitch. I'm not sure. I'm not good at sewing, but I think I can do this. This is very easy. So I'm just going to go like this along the very edge into each one of the double crochets. You can't really see this stitch because it's so tiny. And that's how I'm going to continue along the very edge here, attaching my lace like this. And here's the center. Now again, this is optional. You do not have to do this, but you know, I like to add that extra touch to all of my pieces, so I'm going to go ahead and do it like this. This is going to be a very girly baby dress. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going through each one of the double crochets, and I'm just sewing it in there. And let me show you the front. That's what it looks like from the front. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and continue all around. I measured this, and this is about 42 inches that I'm going to need, which is about 107 centimeters. So I'm going to continue, and then I'll come back and show you. Okay, I finished adding my lace here to the bottom, and this is what it looks like. It looks absolutely beautiful. I decided to go a little bit overboard, and I decided to add some here around the sleeves and around the neck. And I absolutely love the way that this looks, so I hope you like it as well. Now you're going to need about 2 yards of this lace here. It's very inexpensive, and you can find it pretty much anywhere, and it was very easy to attach here to the bottom as well as to the sides here of the sleeves and along the neckline. Here along the neckline, I just did it into right here, this row of double crochets that I did when I did the yoke, and the collar here covers it a little bit, so it looks absolutely beautiful. And this is what it looks like from the back. If you prefer to have a little bow bee on the front, you can do that as well. I just like it the way that this looks. Now let me give you the finished measurements. From the top of the neckline down to the end of this last row, it's measuring about 32 centimeters, which is about 12.5 inches, and the waist, just here, just the top, it's measuring about 25 centimeters, which is about 10 inches. So based on these measurements, this little baby dress is for baby girls between 6 and 9 months old. Now let's continue with the matching diaper cover, this one here, so continue watching. Okay, to begin, I'll be using this 3.5mm crochet hook, and today I'm using this yarn. It's called Super Soft Baby Double Knit, James C. Brett. I'll be using this color pink and white. I'll start with white to make the waistband, and then we're going to switch to the pink to make the rest of the baby bloomers. Now, if you're in the US, you can use any light number 3 baby yarn. Okay, so here, to begin with the white yarn, I'm going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now into the second chain from the hook, we're going to make a single crochet and 1 single crochet into each one of the chains, so that at the end here we are left with 7 single crochets. This is how I'm going to make the waistband. If you prefer to make it any other way, you can. Just make sure that at the end, when you're done, we have the same number of stitches or rows. I'm at the end here. I have 7 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now chain 1, turn, and from here on, this is how you're going to make these single crochets. You are going to go into the back loop of each one of the single crochets and make a single crochet. Make sure you always go through the back loop only, like this. And this will create a nice stretchy waistband. Here's the last one. I have 7 single crochets. Again, chain 1, turn, and repeat. Single crochet through the back loop only on each one of the single crochets. This is how you're going to continue. I'm not exactly sure how many rows I'm going to do, but continue watching and I will let you know exactly how many rows I'm going to do. So I'll meet you at the end of that row. Okay, I finished making my waistband. I did a total of 80 rows, and now what we're going to do is we're going to join both sides. So here, insert your hook through this first stitch and then grab this loop, bring it through the front, chain 1, and then insert your hook back into this same stitch and into the first single crochet here in the back. Grab a loop and make a slip stitch. Now insert your hook into the next stitch here and into the second single crochet here in the back. Grab a loop and make a slip stitch. Same thing into the next stitches here. Continue, and I will meet you once this part here is done to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished joining both sides, so now what we're going to do is we're going to work single crochets here along the top. Now, if I do one single crochet for each one of the rows, I have 80 single crochets, but I need to finish this row with 90, so we need to increase 10 stitches. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to chain one, and into this next row right here, I'm going to make a single crochet. Into the next 6 rows, I'm going to make the same thing, one single crochet, so that I have 7 single crochets here for these next 7 rows. So let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And into this 8th row, I'm going to increase, so I'm going to make 2 single crochets. Again, into the next 7 rows, I'm going to make 1 single crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And into this next row, I'm going to make 2 single crochets. This is how you're going to continue, so I'll meet you here at the end. Okay, I'm here at the end of this row of single crochets, and I have a total of 90 single crochets. To finish, we're going to go on top of the first single crochet, and we're going to join with a slip stitch. Now, I've also cut my yarn, so just pass your yarn through this last loop. If you're not changing color, then you don't have to cut your yarn. You're just going to chain 4, but I'm going to change to this pink color, so I'm going to insert my hook into the same stitch here where I did the slip stitch. I'm going to grab a loop like this, and I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now into this same stitch here, we're going to make a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. Okay, we're going to make these fans. You should have 5 double crochets, including the chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, separated by 1 chain. Now, to make your next fan, you're going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th single crochet, you're going to make your next fan. So make a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. So here's the second fan. We have 5 double crochets separated by 1 chain. Now again, you're going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th, make your next fan. This is all you're going to do for the rest of this row. At the end of this row, we're going to have 18 fans. So continue like this, and I will meet you at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this first row. This is where we did these fans, and I have a total of 18 fans. Now to finish, we're going to go here to the side where we have these chains and join with a slip stitch. And this is how we finish this row. Now for the next row, what we're going to do is we're going to chain 3, and into each one of the chain 1 spaces of each of the fans, we're going to make a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, and then a single crochet. Each one of the fans is going to have 3 chain 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to jump to the next fan, and into the first chain 1 space, we're going to make a single crochet, and then again chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. This is how you're going to continue for this second row. So I'll meet you here at the end. Okay, I'm here at the end of this second row. This is where we did these chains separated by 1 single crochet. Now to finish, we're going to go here into this first chain 3 space, and we're going to make a slip stitch like this. Now we're going to make 2 more slip stitches. So into the single crochet right here, make another slip stitch, and into this second chain 3 space, another slip stitch. Now you're going to chain 4, and then you're going to make a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Here's the first fan. Now we're going to jump to the next fan and into the center chain 3 space, 1, 2, 3, which is this one here. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to make a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. This is all you're going to do for the rest of this row, so continue and I will meet you at the end of this third row. Okay, I'm here at the end of this third row. This is where we did these fans separated by 1 chain. Now to finish, go here to the side and join with a slip stitch. Now for the fourth row, we're going to do this row where we do these chain 3, and then into each one of the chain 1 spaces you make a single crochet. So let me show you. You're going to chain 3 and into the next chain 1 space make a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. So for each fan you're going to have 3 chain 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3. Now jump to the next fan and you're going to do the same thing. Into this first chain 1 space make a single crochet, then chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. This is how you're going to work each one of these fans. Continue and I'll meet you here at the end. I'm here at the end of this row. This is where we do 3 chains and then a single crochet. To finish, I did my last single crochet here, so I'm just going to go here where I have this first chain 3 space and make a slip stitch. Now I'm going to make one more slip stitch, so I'm going to go here where I have this single crochet, make a slip stitch, and then inside this chain 3 space. Now here I'm going to chain 4, and then I'm going to make a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Now jump to the next fan and right here, right in the center, make a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and 1 double crochet. This is how you're going to work each one of the fans. You're just going to do 5 double crochets separated by 1 chain. Continue and I'll meet you at the end of this 5th row. I'm here at the end of this 5th row. This is where we do these fans separated by 1 chain. Now here to finish, you're just going to go to the side and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finish this 5th row. Now from here on, this is all you're going to do. You're just going to repeat these 2 rows. So for the 6th row, you're going to chain 3 and into the next chain 1 space make a single crochet, then chain 3 again, single crochet, chain 3 again, single crochet, jump to the next fan and into the first chain 1 space make a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, and then jump to the next fan and do the same thing. Single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, and so on. That's how you're going to continue for the rest of this row. When you finish, you're going to go here to this chain 3 space, join with a slip stitch, then make a slip stitch into the single crochet and a slip stitch inside this chain 3 space, then chain 4 and then repeat the row of fans. So continue like this, just repeat these 2 rows. I'm not exactly sure how many rows I'm going to do, but continue watching. I will let you know exactly how many rows I'm going to do, so I'll meet you at the end of that row. Okay, I finished making this part. I did a total of 16 rows. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 rows. Now, this part here is measuring from the waistband to the end of this row. It's measuring about 19 centimeters, which is about 7.5 inches. If you want to make this part here longer, you can just continue in the same way. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to divide the legs. So we have a total of 18 fans. Now, what I did here is I have stitch markers between the 2 center fans for the back side and the 2 center fans for the front side. So for each one of the legs, I'm going to have 7 fans. That's 2, 4, 6, 7, and then here 2, 4, 6, 7. So beginning here, this is where I finished, and then I did my 3 slip stitches so that I'm in the center of this fan. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to chain 3, and into this same space here I'm going to make 3 double crochets. Now, including the 3 chains, I have 4 double crochets. Now we're going to skip these 7 fans, and into the 8th fan, which is this one here, I'm going to make 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now jump to the next fan, and in the center here make 4 double crochets. 2, 3, and 4. Now skip again these 7 fans, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and into the 8th fan right here, which is this one here in the back. Turn your work like this, and right in the center make 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now to finish here, this part we're going to go on top of the 3rd chain right here and join with a slip stitch. And now this part here is done. That's what it looks like. Now if you want to make one more row so that this part here is longer, you can. I'm just going to leave it like this, and here I'm just going to cut my yarn. Make sure you leave a little tail like this, because what you're going to do after, you're going to pass your yarn through this last loop like this, and then once we're done here, you're just going to join like this with a crochet hook or with a needle, and just tie it like this so that this part here is joined. Now if you prefer to close this part here, then just do a couple of stitches and that should also work. Okay, so here what we're going to do now is we're going to go here to this chain 3 space. See, this is the center, so right to the side I'm going to add a fan. So make a loop, and you're just going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to make these fans. We're going to continue with the same stitch pattern. So I have to do the row of fans here. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and then double crochet. So here's the first fan. Now we're going to jump to the next fan, and right in the center here we're going to do the next fan. This part here is exactly in the same way we've been doing all of these other rows here. So all you're going to do from here on is just continue and do this same fan on top of each one of these fans like this, like that. Okay, so continue, and I will meet you here at this other end to show you how we're going to work this part here right in the center and then finish this first row. Okay, I finished making these fans. I have 8 fans. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, what I'm going to do here is we have this fan. This is where we divided the legs, and we have 4 double crochets right in the center of this fan. So right to the side in this chain 2 space, I'm going to make my 9th fan like this. Now we're going to make one more, and we're going to do it right here, right in the center. This is where we divided. So right here in between these 2 fans, or these 2 shells here, we're going to make our 10th fan. Now to finish, we're going to go here to the side where we have these chains and join with a slip stitch. And this first row here is done. That's what it looks like. You should have a total of 10 fans. Now, for the next row, we're going to repeat the rows of chains and then single crochet. So chain 3, and into the next chain 1 space, make a single crochet. Chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, jump to the next fan, into the chain 1 space, make a single crochet, chain 3, and so on. This row is exactly the same as these others here. So continue, and I will meet you at the end of the second row. Okay, I finished this row where we did 3 chain single crochet. I'm right here in the center of this fan. Here I finished with a slip stitch, and then I did these next 2 slip stitches, so I'm right in the center. Now in this next row, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to reduce. If you want to make this longer, you can continue and add more rows in the exact same way that I just showed you. Just repeat these 2 rows until you have the length that you want your legs to be, and then just finish in this way. I'm going to chain 3 and then 3 double crochets. Including the 3 chains, I have 4 double crochets. Now in the middle of each one of these fans, make 4 double crochets like this. And that's all we're going to do. 4 double crochets and then 4 double crochets. Continue and I'll meet you at the end of this row. Okay, I finished this row where we did 4 double crochets. Here at the end, I just joined to the beginning with a slip stitch, cut my yarn, pass my yarn through this last loop. Now, with this color white, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here in the center of these 2 fans right there. I'm going to grab a loop like this, and I'm going to chain 1. Here, we're going to work front post and back post double crochets. Now, if you have a hard time making front post and back post double crochets, what you can do is just make 1 or 2 rows of half double crochets on top of each one of the double crochets. It's going to look a little different, but it should still look nice. Now here, to make your front post double crochets, you're going to yarn over, and beginning here where we have these chains, you're just going to make a front post double crochet into the next back post double crochet, front post double crochet, back post double crochet. Again, we have the next group of 4 double crochets. Make a front post double crochet, back post double crochet, front post double crochet, and back post double crochet. This is all you're going to do all around, so continue and I'll meet you here at the end. Okay, I'm here at the end of this row. This is where we did front post and back post double crochets. To finish, we're just going to go here to the side where we have this chain and join with a slip stitch. Now, if you notice that this part here is too tight around the legs, what you can do instead is, instead of making 4 double crochets here in this row, just make 5, and that should add a little bit more to the legs. Now, for the next row, chain 1, and then we're going to work a front post double crochet, next one back post double crochet, and so on. We're just going to repeat this same row. So continue and I'll meet you at the end. I'm here at the end of this second row, front post and back post double crochets. To finish, we're just going to go here to the side and join with a slip stitch. Now, I'm only going to do 2 rows here. If you want to make this part here longer, you can. Just go ahead and add more rows in the same way that I showed you here. Now, for the last row, I'm going to chain 4, and I'm going to skip 1, 2, and into the center here between the 3rd and the 2nd double crochet, I'm going to make a slip stitch. Chain 4 again, skip 1, 2, and in the center between these 2 here, a slip stitch. Chain 4, skip 1, 2, and in the center here, a slip stitch. Chain 4, if you count the double crochets, skip 2, 1, 2, and in the center between the 2nd and the 3rd, a slip stitch. Continue like this and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, I finished this last row here. I just joined to the beginning with a slip stitch, cut my yarn, and passed my yarn through this last loop, and this part here is done. Now you're going to do the exact same thing we did on this side. You're going to do it here on this other side. So I'm going to start you off here for the first row. This is where we do the fan row. So we're going to go right here. I still have my stitch markers, so we have this fan. This is where we did the 4 double crochets. So right to the side we have this chain 3 space. So grab a loop here with the same yarn and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here we're going to make our fan. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Here's the first fan. Now to make the next one, you're going to go here right in the center, right here, and we're going to make a fan right here. You're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet chain 1, double crochet chain 1, double crochet chain 1, and double crochet. Now we're going to jump to this fan. This is where we have the 4 double crochets in the center, and right to the side of these 3 chains, insert your hook there and make your 4th or your 3rd fan. Yes, your 3rd fan. Jump to the next one, right on top, inside the chain 3 space, make your 4th fan. And then from here on, you're just going to continue in the exact same way. At the end of this row, you're going to have 10 fans. So far we have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you're going to finish here with 10 fans. You're going to join to the side here with a slip stitch and then repeat the row of the single crochet chain 3 all around, and then you're going to finish with the row where we do 4 double crochets and then the rest. That's all we're going to do here, so continue. I'm going to go ahead and finish this side, and then I'll come back and show you the finished diaper cover. Okay, I went ahead and finished the other leg, and this is what it looks like. My diaper cover is all done. Now here, what I did was I just sewed in these little flowers. These you can buy anywhere. I bought these from Walmart. These are little rosebuds. Now you can also add them here in the back. I'm just going to leave it like this, and this is my finished diaper cover. There it is. So this little set is almost done. I already showed you how to crochet the little dress. This one here, it's absolutely beautiful and very easy to make. Now let's continue with the matching baby beauties, these here. So continue watching. Okay, to begin, I'll be using this 3mm crochet hook, and today I'm using this baby yarn. I'm using super soft baby double knit. Now, to begin, I have 17 chains on the 3rd chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to make a double crochet. Double crochet into the next chain. Make sure that when you make these chains, only go through one of the loops. And then continue just making 1 double crochet for each one of the chains until you come to the last chain. I will meet you here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished making these double crochets. I still have 1 more chain left. I have 14 double crochets plus the 2 chains we have here at the beginning. Now into this last chain, we're going to make 7 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double crochets. Now pull this yarn so that this hole here closes. Now we're going to make 14 double crochets along this other side. So beginning into this next stitch, make your first double crochet and continue making 1 double crochet for each of these stitches until you have 14. Continue, and I'll meet you at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished making these 14 double crochets. Now into this next stitch right here, right there, you're going to make 7 double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now to finish, go on top of the first double crochet, not the chains but the double crochet, and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finished the first row. So for the first row, we have 14 double crochets, 14 double crochets, 7 double crochets, and 7 double crochets. So that's 14 plus 14 plus 7 plus 7, that's 42 double crochets. Now for the second row, chain 2. Now the 2 chains do not count as a double crochet. Here we're going to make 14 double crochets. So beginning into the same stitch we did the slip stitch, which is the first double crochet, make a double crochet on top of the next, and so on. Continue and make these 14 double crochets, and I'll meet you right about here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished making these 14 double crochets, not including the 2 chains. Now into these next 7 double crochets, we're going to make 2 double crochets on each. So beginning on top of the first one, make 2 double crochets. That's 1, 2, into the next, 3 and 4, into the third, 5 and 6, into the fourth, 7 and 8, into the fifth, 9 and 10, into the 6th, 11 and 12, and into the 7th, 13 and 14. Okay, see, that's how we're going to work this part here. Now we're going to work these next 14 double crochets, so continue, and I'll meet you right about here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished making these 14 double crochets. Now into the next 7 double crochets, we're going to make 2 double crochets on top of each one. So beginning into this first one, make 2 double crochets. That's 1 and 2, into the second, 3 and 4, into the third, 5 and 6, into the fourth, 7 and 8, into the fifth, 9 and 10, into the 6th, 11th and 12, and into the 7th, 13 and 14. Now to finish, we're going to go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finished this second row. Now for the second row, we have 14, 14, 14 and 14. So that's a total of 56 double crochets. Now I'll come back and show you what we need to do next. Okay, so we finished the second row with a total of 56 double crochets. So here I've cut my yarn, so just pass your yarn through that last loop. Now this part here is done. It's measuring about 11 centimeters, which is almost 4.5 inches. Now I have 2 stitch markers. This is just to determine the center here on this side. So we have 28 stitches on this side and 28 stitches on this side. So this here is the center. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to remove this stitch marker. I don't need it. So into this stitch right there, I'm going to insert my hook. I'm actually going to go like this because this is going to be the right side. This is going to be on the inside of the baby booty. So here we're going to grab a loop, bring it through the front like this. Chain 2. The 2 chains never count as a stitch from here on. They're just there to cover any gaps that are left when you join. Instead of joining to the chains, we're going to join to the first double crochet. So here, beginning into the same stitch here, I'm going to make a double crochet, then double crochet into the next, and so on. This is all I'm going to do all around, just make double crochets. At the end of this row, I should have a total of 56 double crochets as well. Now I'm going to make these double crochets because I want to show you something here. When you come to where we've been joining for these last 2 rows that we did. Oh, and we're going to start counting rows. So this is going to be your first row. So here we have the chains and then the double crochet. Make sure you go on top of the double crochet to make your next double crochet. And then continue around just making double crochets like this. So continue, and I'll meet you here at the end of this first row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this first row. I have a total of 56 double crochets. To finish, go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. Now for the second row, chain 2, and into this same stitch here, make a double crochet. Here, to continue for this row, all we're going to do is just make double crochets on each one of these stitches. So continue all around. At the end of this row, you're going to have 56 double crochets, not including the 2 chains. Continue, and I'll meet you here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this second row. I have 56 double crochets. To finish, go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. Now, this is how I finished this second row with 56 double crochets. Now for the third row, what we're going to do is we're going to start now reducing here the front of the baby booties. So here I have placed 2 stitch markers. So between this stitch marker and the first double crochet, I have 16 double crochets. Between this stitch marker and this one right in the front, I have 24 double crochets. Then between this stitch marker and the last double crochet here, I have 16. So 16, 16, 24. So for the third row, chain 2, and into the same stitch here, make a double crochet. Here we're going to make a total of 16 double crochets. So continue, and I'll meet you right about here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished making these 16 double crochets, not including the 2 chains. Now into these next 24 double crochets, we're going to work stitch reduction. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next double crochet, grab a loop, take 2 loops off, yarn over, insert your hook into the next, grab a loop, take 2 loops off, 3 loops on the hook, close. Here's our first stitch reduction, which counts as 1 double crochet. So again, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, take 2 loops off, yarn over, insert your hook into the next, take 2 loops off, 3 loops on the hook, close. Here's our second double crochet. Again, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, take 2 loops off, yarn over, insert your hook into the next, take 2 loops off, 3 loops on the hook, close. This is how I'm going to continue from here on. So that was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 12 stitches here for the front. Now we're going to continue and finish these last 16 double crochets. So continue, and I'll meet you at the end of this row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this third row. To finish, go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch, and this is how I finished the third row. Now in this row we have 16 double crochets plus 16, plus in the front we had 12 double crochets, so that's a total of 44 double crochets. Now in the fourth row, what we're going to do is we're going to work 12 double crochets here first. So to begin, chain 2, and into the same stitch here, make a double crochet, continue and work these 12 double crochets, and I'll meet you right about here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished making these 12 double crochets, not including the 2 chains. Now into these next 4 double crochets right here, we're going to work a stitch reduction. So yarn over, insert your hook, grab a loop, take 2 loops off, yarn over, insert your hook into the next, take 2 loops off, 3 loops on the hook, close. Same thing into the next 2, 3 loops, close. Now these next 12 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, these are the stitch reductions that we worked on the previous row. So we're going to reduce this part a bit more as well. So to do this, same thing, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, take 2 loops off, yarn over, insert your hook into the next, take 2 loops off, 3 loops on the hook, close. Again, work another stitch reduction, 3 loops, close. So here I have, let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so we did 10 stitch reductions here, and that's what it looks like. So now we're going to continue and just work these last 12 double crochets. So continue, and I'll meet you right about here, right at the end, to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished making these last 12 double crochets. Now to finish, go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finished this fourth row. We have 12 plus 12 plus 10, that's 34 double crochets for this fourth row. Now for the fifth row, I've already moved my stitch markers. Here I have 10 double crochets. For the front, I have 14, and here for this side, I have 10. So in this row, we're going to chain 2, and into this same stitch here, make a double crochet. Here we're going to make a total of 10 double crochets. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now into the next 4 stitches, this is what we're going to do. We're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the first stitch, take 2 loops off. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next, take 2 loops off, 3 loops, close. Again, repeat the same thing. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, take 2 loops off, yarn over, insert your hook into the next, take 2 loops off, 3 loops, close. Now into the next 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're going to work 1 double crochet on each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now into the next 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to reduce again. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, take 2 loops off, yarn over, insert your hook into the next, take 2 loops off, 3 loops, close. Again into the next 2, take 2 loops off, yarn over, take 2 loops off, 3 loops, close. Now for this front part, we should have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stitches. Now we're going to finish these last 10 double crochets, so I'll meet you at the end of this 5th row. Okay, I'm here at the end of this 5th row. I have 30 double crochets. Now to finish, go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finish this 5th row. Now from here on, we're not going to make any more reductions. We're just going to continue with these 30 double crochets. So for the next 2 rows, rows 6 and 7, we're going to chain 1. And beginning here, we have our first double crochet. You're going to make a front post double crochet. Then you're going to make a back post double crochet, front post double crochet, back post double crochet. This is all you're going to do for the next 2 rows. When you get here to where we have these stitches here where we did the reductions, just treat it as 1 stitch. You're going to insert your hook like this and then continue all around, and you're going to have 30 stitches or 30 double crochets. When you finish this row, join here to the side where we have this chain with a slip stitch, chain 1, and then repeat the same thing, front post and back post double crochets. That's how you're going to work these next 2 rows. So continue, and I'll meet you at the end of the 7th row. I'm here at the end of this 7th row. This is where we did 2 rows of front post and back post double crochets, so row 6 and 7. Now to finish this row, we're going to go here on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finished this 7th row. Now for rows 8th, 9th, and 10th, we're going to do 3 rows of just double crochet. So like this, 1, 2, 3. So to do these 3 rows, you're just going to chain 2 and turn. We're going to make these 3 rows from the inside out so that when we fold our baby booty like this, we have the right side facing. So here we have the 2 chains, and into here the side right here, I'm going to make my first double crochet. Then I'm going to make 1 double crochet on top of each one of the double crochets from the previous row, so that at the end of these 3 rows you always have 30 double crochets. And this is all we're going to do. When you finish, you're just going to join here to the top of the first double crochet, chain 2, and then repeat the same row 2 more times. So continue, and I'll meet you at the end of the 10th row. Okay, I finished these 3 rows of double crochet. I'm at the end of the 10th row. Here at the end, all I did was just join to the top of the first double crochet with a slip stitch. Now for row 11, you're going to chain 2, and here we're going to make 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to increase every 5th double crochet. So beginning into this first stitch where I did the slip stitch, make your first double crochet, then that's 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th, 2 double crochets like this. And then again, make 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and into this 5th, 2 double crochets. This is all you're going to do for this 11th row, so continue, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. I'm here at the end of this 11th row. I have a total of 36 double crochets. Here's my last increase. This is where I did 2 double crochets. Now to finish, go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finished the 11th row with 36 double crochets. Now for the 12th row, we're going to do these little fans here. So to do this, you're going to chain 4 here, and then you're going to make 5 double crochets separated by 1 chain. So that's 1, then chain 1, 2, chain 1, 3, chain 1, 4, chain 1, and 5 double crochets. So each one of the fans is going to have 6 double crochets. The chains here at the beginning count as your first double crochet. So that's 2, 4, 6 separated by 1 chain. Now to make your next one, you're going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th double crochet, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to do 6 double crochets separated by 1 chain. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And here's our second fan. We have 2, 4, 6 double crochets separated by 1 chain. Continue like this for this 12th row, and I'll meet you at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished this 12th row. This is where we did these fans. Here at the end, all I did was just join to the side where we have these 4 chains with a slip stitch, cut my yarn, and pass my yarn through this last loop, and this row is done. Now, with this white yarn, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this little edging here around the little fans. So insert your hook between these 2 fans right here, grab a loop, and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what we're going to do here is into each one of the chain 1 spaces beginning here, I'm going to make a slip stitch, then chain 4 again. Slip stitch into the next chain 1 space, chain 4. Slip stitch into the next, chain 4. Slip stitch into the next chain 1 space, chain 4, and then slip stitch. Now we have the next fan, and right in the middle here we're going to do a slip stitch, and into the first chain 1 space of the next fan, a slip stitch. And now again, you're just going to continue with 4 chains and then slip stitch into each one of the chain 1 spaces. And this is all you're going to do for each one of the fans. It's very easy. Slip stitch, chain 4, and slip stitch. And then to do the next fan, between the 2 here, make a slip stitch, and into the first chain 1 space of this fan, a slip stitch, then chain 4, and then continue with the same thing. Continue like this for this last row, and I'll meet you at the end to show you the finished baby booty. Okay, I finished this last row here at the end. I just joined to the beginning with a slip stitch, cut my yarn, and then passed my yarn through this last loop. So now all I have to do is just hide this end here, and the baby booty is done. Now, if you want to go ahead and add a little ribbon like I did here, this is how I did it. I'm using this ribbon here. This is 3/16 of an inch or 4.8 millimeter thick. You're just going to cut a small piece. I don't know, I'd say about 10-12 inches. If you need more, then just go ahead and cut it after you have weaved it in here, and then just make a little bow. The ribbon here, you're going to weave it in this second to last row of double crochet, so it would be right here. And I started on one side and then finished here on this other side. So this one is going to be the left booty, and this is going to be the right booty. So I'm going to do this little bow on this side, on this other baby booty. So, and then here in the center, what I did was I have these little flowers that you can just sew them in there, or you can use hot glue to put them in there. I like to sew mine in, so I'm going to do the same for this one here. So I'm going to put it like this. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then I'll come back and show you my finished baby set. Okay, so here are my finished baby booties. This is what they look like. I went ahead and added the ribbon here and the little flower. So this completes today's tutorial where I showed you how to make the little dress, the matching diaper cover, and the matching booties for baby girls between 6 and 9 months old. In the information box, remember, I'll leave some information on how you can easily make it smaller or bigger, and I'll leave direct links to my Etsy shop for all of these patterns. Thank you so much for your support.